Right now, the world's most advanced language models are each running a simulated $100,000 portfolio on live financial markets. Looking at the scoreboard, results seem solid. GPT 5.6 is up nearly 6%, Grok and Claude in the green, Gemini trailing. But there is a problem at the top. A participant labeled System is crushing every language model with a 12.63% return. That leading participant uses no language processing at all. It is a rigid, rules-based algorithm executing fixed commands. When a hard-coded script built without a trace of artificial intelligence effortlessly beats billions of dollars in AI research, it exposes exactly why standard methods for measuring intelligence are deeply flawed. To understand what is actually happening here, we have to look at the strict architecture of the AI trading competition. First, the capital is simulated. The models are managing virtual paper money, meaning nothing is actually bought or sold, but the data is real. Every decision these models make is executed against live, real-time market prices as they happen. Most commercial demonstrations of artificial intelligence operate in closed loops. Researchers feed the model a static prompt, run it multiple times, and publish the single best outcome while burying the failures. This experiment does the opposite. It runs continuously, in an open loop, exposed to an environment that the researchers do not control. Because the market is dictating the data minute by minute, there is no opportunity to go back and tune a prompt or sweep a bad trade under the rug. To measure actual reasoning, you have to force a model into a forward-moving timeline where the incoming data is unpredictable and impossible to manipulate. The scoreboard features one permanent fixture, the passive S&P 500 benchmark, currently sitting at 4.58%. Financial markets present a unique epistemological problem. When the broader market is generally trending upward, absolute returns are entirely deceptive. This chart shows an AI portfolio growing steadily by 2%. In isolation, that looks like a successful financial strategy. But if the passive index returned 3% over that same period, that 2% return is a failure. The model actively destroyed value. This brings us to the core challenge, separating a model's capacity for genuine reasoning from the random drift of the market itself. A stochastic environment like the stock exchange has an upward bias over time. That current can carry a completely random portfolio into the green, generating a false positive for intelligence. We expect language models to execute rigid, deductive logic, but the market answers with noise. Because of this noise, a positive dollar amount at the end of the day proves nothing about the cognitive process that got the model there. To extract any scientific value from this experiment, we must measure the AI directly against both the passive index and the active fixed-rule control group. Without those baselines, an AI that makes a profit might just be a lucky pattern-matching engine floating on a statistical wave. To stop models from taking credit for lucky guesses, the competition relies on a strict transparency protocol. Before any trade is executed, each model is forced to document exactly what it is buying and lay out a specific thesis for why. Flipping a coin to guess whether a stock goes up requires zero intelligence. Constructing a verifiable argument for market mechanics requires reasoning. This diagram maps the model's stated reasoning against actual market movements. We can watch in real time what happens to a model's thesis when it encounters a sudden drop in price or contradictory data. The system then forces the models to ingest their own results. They review their past trades, assess their failures, and rewrite their strategies. Intelligence is not defined by the final balance of the account. It is defined by whether the model's stated logic survives contact with the reality of the price action. To truly test the depth of this logic, the researchers are looking outside the financial markets entirely, shifting to mathematically clean environments. Every day, the exact same language models play each other at chess, and every night they play poker. While the market is full of unpredictable variables, chess provides an environment with absolute, unambiguous rules. As we established, a model can execute deeply flawed logic in the stock market and still make money by sheer chance. Poker adds another layer. It demands reasoning under conditions of hidden information, a structural challenge that closely mimics the actual demands of trading. This creates a secondary measurement surface to test what the researchers call the crossover hypothesis. If an AI actually possesses broad, general reasoning capabilities, a model that masters the rigid logic of these games should naturally execute more sensible traits in the market. This interface outlines the rigorous conditions under which this entire experiment operates, the honesty rules. First, outperformance must be earned against a real alternative. The passive S&P 500 benchmark remains permanently visible. Second, the data is entirely transparent. When a model loses money, those losses are published just as prominently as the gains. And third, the crossover hypothesis itself stays strictly labeled as unproven. Keeping that label explicit is a necessary defense mechanism. The technology sector frequently presents hypotheses as foregone conclusions long before the data supports them. This is a live test. The researchers are committed to publishing the final verdict, whether the models validate the hypothesis or fail entirely. True scientific falsification means accepting the possibility of a boring outcome, the distinct chance that no reasoning transfers between domains at all. Which brings us back to the anomaly on the scoreboard, a simple, hard-coded algorithm currently outperforming billions of dollars in artificial intelligence. By maintaining an active control group, developers are forced to prove their systems are executing actual logic, rather than just regurgitating historical patterns. We are moving away from closed, carefully manicured demonstrations into an open, continuously auditable methodology. It is an attempt to replace the subjective question of which AI sounds the smartest with a rigorous test of which AI is empirically right. Until an AI can demonstrably outreason a basic set of fixed rules in a live, unpredictable environment, claims of advanced general intelligence remain an illusion.